What is well-being? According to Canadians, it is defined as the presence of the highest possible quality of life through a wide range of domains.
One thing I really liked about this report was the measuring quality of life rather than just the GDP, giving us kind of a better look at the health and wellness of our community rather than just focusing on GDP. I also like the interconnectedness of the domains of well-being, kind of recognizing that there's a whole realm of interconnected aspects that contribute to wellness and community wellness. I was pleased to see that Statistics Canada has committed to beginning to track wellness, because I think once you start tracking wellness, that will also influence maybe policy or government actions as a result. I do hope that the report influences government policy, as I think education is a good place to focus to improve and impact the wellness of people's lives overall. If you're looking to have a healthy population, I believe education is the way to do that, because it impacts not only the individual, it also impacts their community, also giving them greater access to things like leisure and cultural activities. I think Assiniboine plays a really big role in the education realm for well-being on the Index of Well-being. Currently, we've been in 20 different communities serving those populations with the education that they need for their communities. So an important element of this discussion is making sure that the right people are at the table and that they're involved in what that looks like. So I think Assiniboine has done a great job at being present, working directly with communities, making sure that we're meeting the needs and developing the future workforce of Manitoba. Assiniboine is positioned well to address all the key issues identified in the report, including our ability to build strong relationships with communities, strengthening the healthcare system with frontline workers, providing training to new Canadians, as well as helping our Indigenous students graduate from our programs, ensuring their success not only in their lives, but in their communities. I have an MBA in Community Economic Development. I actually got to take that through Assiniboine Community College through a cohort with Cape Breton University. So it's really an important and interesting conversation to be able to be part of. And so an important part of community economic development is making sure that all the right people are at the table. And so I think if this work continues, it'd be really great to involve more Indigenous community leaders, as well as underrepresented groups of people. So looking at this Canadian Index of Wellbeing and the spokes of well-being, education intersects with many of those spokes. It will improve living standards, impacts community vitality, as well as improving people's access to leisure and culture. So one of the lines that stood out to me in the education piece was societies that thrive encourage a thirst for knowledge. And so at Assiniboine, we talk a lot about having a thriving workforce, and that includes people feeling vitality while also having the ability to access education. And so I think an important or a nice thing that would be to see in this is not just the thirst for knowledge, but the ability to access knowledge. And so Assiniboine does a great job going into communities, providing sometimes free training in different apprenticeship programs. And so there's an important distinction, I think, between that thirst for knowledge and the ability to access knowledge, which is what community colleges do a great job at doing. So it's good to see that education rates, attainment rates are improving in Manitoba, but it would be really good to see colleges reflected in that data. Current data provided in that report seems to focus a lot on university data, and I do think it's important to have colleges represented at the table as well. So Assiniboine is a major player in the post-secondary field, and it's important to have all players at the table when we're talking about important community economic development initiatives like the well-being of all Manitobans. So as indicated in the report, we know that Indigenous youth are much less likely to participate in post-secondary education. This is why we've partnered with numerous communities to help improve graduation and retention rates of these youth.